Bada boom, bada bing. Just a whole lot of really good news for Nintendo Switch, and what better way to start your day. So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. I can't get enough of this mug, and a special good morning to the dogs of the guy I met at Super Nintendo World who said his dogs watch my videos every morning. Woof woof, bark bark, chuff chuff. You know what I'm talking about. For the rest of y'all, what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. You look, how you say, radiant today. And we're going to kick it off with some radiant news from the Bayonetta franchise. There was a playable teaser in Bayonetta 3 deep within the game, but today Nintendo officially dropped the Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon demo on the eShop. I've been hearing surprisingly good impressions on this game. I was kind of just like brushing it aside, but I think I'm going to have to give it a look. Got the comparison of Brothers, which was a fantastic indie title back on Xbox 360, and that is appealing to me. Clearly, they have swapped genres and changed things up for this spinoff, and if you want to check it out yourself for free and see if it's for you later this month, boom, demo available. Now, demos are nice, but what about brand new games? We got a super sick announcement, and it's not even an indie world or a house of indies or an indie post. It's just straight up Wargroove 2. Trying to steal the thunder of Advance Wars 1+2, this is just Wargroove 2. 1+2 may equal 3, but for Wargroove, the sequel is way more than 3 times the size because it has 3 campaigns, trying to take a piece out of the Fire Emblem book with multiple branching storylines, and then it also has a roguelite mode, which honestly, I know overload on the roguelite stuff, but it sounds really cool within the context of an Advance Wars XCOM style game. Plus, rather than being smack dab in the middle of the battlefield, Wargroove 2 takes place on the shores. It's pirates, it's beaches, and I think that's so much. It's beaches? I think. Wow, don't replay that too many times. I think it just looks way more fun being on the sand rather than just the fields. They've also brought over the developer of Pathway, which was a really cool XCOM style indie game a couple years back, and they'll be assisting with the sequel. It's dropping later this year, so no like TBD, and hopefully nowhere near as many delays as Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. Now, obviously, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp is tried and true to the Advance Wars franchise. It's got nostalgia, it's got redone graphics, it's got both games. It's $60. I almost feel, dare I say this to dear daddy Nintendo, but I almost feel that Wargroove 2 possibly saves you about $40. Because if Wargroove 2 launches at $20, it has 3 campaigns, it has pirates, it has shores, it has roguelite mode, it has beaches. You maybe could just skip Advance Wars, especially if you already played the titles. I doubt Nintendo will bring Advance Wars to the GBA Virtual Console, given that they're sort of doing this remastered version for Switch proper. And I still have a soft spot for Advance Wars, and I do want Nintendo to continue Advance Wars. I just wonder if after all these delays and what they're doing at the game, maybe it should have been like a WarioWare style $50 title. I just feel like maybe there's a bit of a misstep there, and I don't want to suggest that you dip out on Advance Wars, but Wargroove 2 coming does sort of shift maybe my level of recommendation for Advance Wars, given how cool this looks, given the pretty strong start that Wargroove put out a few years back, and given that it's going to be like a third of the price, or at the very least half the price. Does Wargroove 2 look cool with its beaches? And are you reconsidering maybe an Advance Wars pickup in April? This game probably won't launch more towards, like, I'm guessing back end of the year, October, November. Who knows? Maybe it's a House of Indies title for 2023 if they bring that back. So you do have some time to wait, but it also would save you a bunch of money if you can be patient. I mean, the games are different enough, but like at the same time, Wargroove 2 might be in the lead for me. Now, quite possibly the best, goodest news of the day. This one is just wild, okay? We know that Microsoft has been really kind of pushing the narrative that they want to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo Switch. And there was that agreement signed that said, hey, if the Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft merger goes through, we're committed to bringing 10 years of the same Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms day and date. And that was like, yeah, that's awesome. I don't know how you're going to pull it off, but that's awesome. Well, today, in further efforts from Microsoft to prove that they are in fact committed to a multi-platform harmonious video game universe, they said that they could make Call of Duty work right now natively on Switch. Yeah, forget the Switch Pro, forget the cloud. They say they can do it right now. And they cite the fact that Modern Warfare 2 works on some GPUs on PC built in 2015. The Switch dropped in 2017, and they assert that given their port wizardry, they would be able to make Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone work on the Switch right now. Now, at first blush, that sounds like brilliant. But then I question, if you could do this, why didn't you? The Switch has a massive install base, so if you could flop Warzone onto the eShop and allow it to work, why not? You're saying you could make it happen, why haven't you? Because that's so many players and so much extra cash. Modern Warfare 2 did sell incredibly well on PlayStation and Xbox and PC, but if you also could have released it to 100 million Switch players and made it the premier shooter on the platform, why didn't you? Now, what's interesting here is they don't really talk about the server side of things. They say that they're able to make the game run, but I wonder if maybe more of this is the multiplayer hiccup that could occur if you try to put these games on Switch. Nonetheless, it's very interesting to me that Microsoft and Activision are asserting that they could get current COD, not like, oh, you know, the old Modern Warfare 2, no, the new Modern Warfare 2 that dropped last year, and put that on Switch without the power or the debacle of the cloud. Interesting idea. And they say that graphics cards of 2015 are evidence they can indeed make it happen. I say, Call of Duty, if you can, why don't you? Give it to us. I understand that you're trying to leverage this within this contract, but why not? Why haven't you done it? Do you buy this? Do you believe that Activision could actually put Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and Warzone onto the Switch? Or do you think this is a bunch of hullabaloo to try to win over the courts? We have had some really impressive titles ported to Switch. Things like Witcher 3 come to mind, and there are a bunch of multiplayer games on the Switch that are sort of similar in the vein of Apex Legends and Fortnite and Warframe. So it's plausible, but if it's so doable, I just don't understand why it hasn't been done. I do think we're getting a future where Call of Duty has a significant presence on Switch, and so that alone is a big win. But they don't even want a Switch Pro. They don't even want a more powerful piece of hardware. They say, hey, the current Switch is good enough. And it's having me kind of reevaluate my life, because if the current Switch is good enough for Call of Duty, why is it not good enough for Zach from SwitchForce? How does this make you feel? And are you reevaluating the person you are based on the fact that COD considers the Switch plenty powerful, even though it's just absolutely not? Okay. This is reality, and yes, we've had a ton of good news, but I kind of want to give you the bad news. It doesn't overwhelm the good, because a combination of Wargroove, a new Bayonetta demo, and Call of Duty apparently able to run on the Switch, so the fact that if the Switch has to continue for a couple more years and we don't get the rumored Switch Pro or Switch 2 announced at the end of this year, it still will be okay. That all feels fantastic to me, plus a surprise indie announcement that honestly could have carried an entire Indie World Direct. I will take it on a random day. But there are reports that LEGO is in disastrous mode. Traveler's Tales is just canceling things left and right. And we know that Traveler's Tales and Warner Brothers have been superior supporters of the Switch. Stuff like the Skywalker Saga was fantastic on the Switch, and plenty of other LEGO games do work on the Switch. It's one of the few major AAA, Block A, I would say those games have reached quite a level of popularity, AA, AAA, however you want to frame it, and they're on Switch. They're now saying that Guardians of the Galaxy LEGO has been axed. They're saying that Mandalorian DLC for Skywalker Saga is not being done. A new Batman game is being shifted aside. And maybe most importantly, the LEGO Disney game has been canceled. They're saying that the LEGO Disney game cancellation is primarily due to the reception of Disney Dreamlight Valley. And the fact that that game did so well has made Traveler's Tales nervous about putting out their game. Honestly, that sounds like the complete opposite reaction I'd have, because if Dreamlight Valley works so well, then a LEGO Disney game could also be phenomenal and provide a very different style of gameplay, and honestly maybe something more accessible than having to build your own island and do all the errands, and frankly maybe more fun. You could bring in a lot more characters a lot more quickly. You could use the LEGO sense of humor and charm, and you could build out amazing worlds that look fantastic in the same way you did with Skywalker Saga for Disney, which would be downright dope. The fact that Dreamlight Valley's success is causing them to cancel just feels incredibly misplaced, and I wonder if there's more than meets the eye here. We heard rumors that it was very, very grueling to work on Skywalker Saga, and the working conditions at TT Games was nowhere near where it needed to be. And perhaps this is just sort of the culmination of all of that muck, and now they're just not able to get things done, and people are, rightfully so, fed up. There's also the other side of this rumor, which is that Traveler's Tales is instead shifting all of its resources to a massive, universe-spanning, franchise-spanning Harry Potter anthology like they did with Skywalker Saga for Star Wars. The Boy Who Lived saga could be a huge win for LEGO, especially if given the same treatment as Skywalker Saga, but honestly, I would be sad to see LEGO Disney, Guardians of the Galaxy, Mandalorian, and a new Batman thing all be shelved in efforts to sort of remaster, remake the Harry Potter LEGO stuff into another massively successful anthology. I understand it from a dollars and cents standpoint, but I really, really, really wanted that LEGO Disney game. And LEGO Guardians sounds great, especially with the movie. The trailer for GOTG 3 looks really good. And this is your just bad news of the day that LEGO is in trouble. But don't worry, everything will be okay. I'm sure there'll be more LEGO games. I'm sure there'll be plenty of LEGO sets, including that Zelda Deku Tree that got axed from the internet. That thing is happening, and that will be pretty sick, especially if released alongside the launch window for Tears of the Kingdom. In the meantime, though, everybody, let me know your favorite news of the day. Is it the Bayonetta demo being available for everyone? Is it Wargroove 2 taking some shine off of Advance Wars, but also bringing in some really cool elements and beaches? Or is it Microsoft saying Call of Duty can run on the Switch, and that's kind of exciting in its own right, especially tantalizing for other third-party releases that could or will be happening later this year. I don't know, but in the meantime, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots, appreciate you even more. SwitchForce, out.